like clock. I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop.
A brand new Kata organization character was announced, and a lot of people have a lot of mixed reviews about it, but I'm going to go over the character, show you guys who it is, and of course read you guys the information about the character, and also give you guys my opinions about it. This right here, in my opinion, is what actually separates the Boruto anime when it actually does adapt the Boruto manga. But the Boruto anime likes to differentiate themselves from the Boruto manga, and the fact that they have things in the Boruto anime when it does adapt the Boruto manga that pretty much makes it a lot more interesting. For example, the Boruto manga, we all know it's all about action, we all know everything is straight to the point, but in terms of the Boruto anime, when it does start adapting the Boruto manga, you still get the same amount of plot progression, but also there are brand new things that are added in that heightens the entertainment level for that particular arc. Now I do want to point out, a lot of these characters in the Kata organization that they will be actually introducing, these characters, in my opinion, they aren't necessarily new, mainly because we understood that we haven't really seen everybody that was in the insiders of the Kata organization, especially the outsiders of the Kata organization. I'm pretty sure the anime is probably going to exploit that to the fullest extent, mainly because there could possibly be dozens of elite ninjas that are in the outsiders of the Kata organization that we just have not seen yet. But regardless, when we talk about the insiders, we understand that there are numbers on everybody's faces in the Kata organization, and there are a couple of numbers that are still missing, specifically the number 7 and the number 8. Now in this particular situation, the new character that was actually introduced to us, he has the number 7 on his face. That pretty much leaves another character of the Kata organization insiders that actually still has not been introduced as of yet. And in my opinion, of course, that's probably going to be another anime original as well, or he could possibly be introduced into the Boruto manga and catch almost everybody by surprise. Now the new character's name is going to be Deepa. I do want to give a huge shout out to Organic Dinosaur for translating the actual description of the character named Deepa, but regardless, into the actual paragraph, it says, just like Victor, he's one of the key members of the mysterious organization called the Kata. He'll kill people even without hesitation. Due to his inhumanity and atrociousness, you won't understand or know what he's thinking about. In order to fulfill his objective with Victor, he'll appear in front of Boruto and his comrades. Now off the rip, we understand that he's going to be a very integral part in the upcoming arc, but regardless, talking about the actual appearance and more importantly the personality of this new character. Now the one thing I do want to point out is that it says he'll kill people even without any hesitation. Now one of the things that I automatically understand coming into it when we talk about an anime original character that is going to be a villain, a lot of people are going to attempt to compare him to Urashiki, and we understand that Urashiki probably wasn't necessarily the best villain for all of us, and of course he pretty much paled in comparison to a character like Momoshiki or even a character like Kenshiki. Man, nah, let's scratch that out, just a character like Momoshiki. But regardless, I feel like this right here differentiates him and Urashiki in the fact that it says that he doesn't hesitate to kill people. Urashiki, in my opinion, he really didn't want to kill people. His only objective was to take people's chakra, and in fact some of the key battles that Urashiki did fight in, he was not necessarily able to kill people. For example, he fought against Tonetti, made quick work of him, but he wasn't necessarily able to kill Tonetti. He fought against Boruto. Of course, he wasn't necessarily able to kill Boruto, mainly because Boruto is technically part of the Otsuki clan because he has the Karma Seal from Momoshiki Otsuki. And of course, he was not able to kill Naruto back when Naruto was a kid, mainly because he housed the Nine Tails. And of course, even as an adult, he wasn't necessarily able to kill Naruto, mainly because there was still a very slight chance that he could possibly obtain the Nine Tails from adult Naruto. So there's a very different situation in terms of this character called Deepa May, because he is going to be on the prowl to actually start killing people. And that right there, in my opinion, is a very entertaining thing for a lot of people, mainly because it does present that sense of danger that a lot of people do want to see, and that is almost necessary for Boruto to have a very serious tone in the upcoming arc. And everybody was always on pins and needles, mainly because anything could happen at any given time. Now, because this guy is in the insiders of the Kata organization, he is, of course, is going to be a very strong character. It's going to be a question of how strong is this character going to be, and if he's anywhere close to a character like Delta, my original point still stands. If you guys have not necessarily heard me make this point, you guys are going to hear it right now. In terms of the character in the Kata organization, mainly because they are extremely strong, is a very high possibility that they are not regular humans. They are either part Otsutsuki, or they are cyborgs, or they are just synthetic human beings. So again, there's a very high possibility that this guy Deepa is not 100% human. One popular criticism that I understand is probably going to arise from this is going to be, where was he during the 4th Great Shinobi War when everybody needed him? Things like that. If he's going to be this very strong character, of course he could have been a very good help. And I do want to tell you guys, and I always caution people by saying this, there wasn't like posters up all around the Shinobi world like, hey, there's going to be a big war in a couple of days, get ready, if you guys are Rogue Ninja, you just come back, we're going to set you free after the war. There were no posters like that. And in fact, even Shinobi that were extremely strong during during the time didn't want to take any part in the Great Shinobi World War, even though they understood the stakes that could have possibly lied ahead if they did lose that battle. One of the more popular characters that made a similar decision such as that is of course Orochimaru. Orochimaru was even on the battlefield and didn't necessarily want to partake in any of the battles. Of course Orochimaru did help out a little bit, but in terms of what Orochimaru could have possibly done on the battlefield, he didn't do anywhere close to his full potential. And of course that could have possibly been a similar ideal for a character such as Deepa. He could have possibly been thinking whatever happens, happens. So I do want to caution a lot of the people who do actually bring up that point as like a slander to this character, but I do want to point out it is going to be imperative for the Boruto writers to give us some sort of explanation. Of course it is very, very plausible for him to just say, hey, I'm not going to participate. I still do want to get that explanation from the Boruto writers, but let me know what you guys think about this character in the comment section below. And in my opinion, I think this character is going to be a very, very important one. Not only that, he's going to make an immediate impact in the upcoming Kata organization arc. So because of that, I'm super excited for him. And also, I did bring this up in my last video. I really, really hope that they don't have this guy square up with Boruto and have Boruto be, I wouldn't necessarily say threat, but I really hope that they don't have Boruto get at least one hit in. It would just be an absolute buzzkill for Deepa, a member of the Kata organization insiders, to be scarred by a Genin, albeit Boruto is not a regular Genin. But again, just for the mystique, I really just hope Deepa is just toying with people and Boruto like barely escape, something like that. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Give me your opinions about Deepa and of course the other characters of the Kata organization that might actually appear. But regardless, this one right here was very interesting in my opinion. Also, there's another member of the Kata organization that has not yet appeared, and of course that right there is going to be a very, very big part of the overall story, man, because he is the missing member of the Kata organization. But it's been your boy Baara, and we out.